What's up, Sapphoros? How are you doing, bud? How are things at the NSA going? Oh. Spoken like a true spy. Spoken like somebody that is a king of espionage of their own countrymen. Boy, yesterday was a long show and it was a ton of fun. For those who missed it, I'm sorry you missed a fun show. Lee and I had a blast. We saw a lot of really nice painted cards and had some fun. It was if you weren't there, I wish you would have been there. I am exhausted. I have been going nonstop since about 9:30 in the morning. Saburo says sometimes it's just fun to sit back and listen to the goofy stuff people will say and admit without any prompting. Oh no, I agree. Yep. Listen, one of the first things anybody in the government will tell you is you have the right to remain silent. That is the most overlooked right in the world. People talk about the freedom of speech. You need to pay attention to the freedom to shut the crap up. If you are ever in a situation where somebody seems to be asking you probing questions, you have the right to remain silent. What up, Carlos? What up, T-Bone? It is amazing the information people will volunteer. There is entire, I would say beyond books, there's entire sciences into human engineering and getting info. Oh, a lot of people don't have the ability. You are correct. There are people that will talk incessantly. I would argue most people have that inherent need to defend themselves, even if they didn't have necessarily done anything bad.
Oh, you just got dangled.
An early dangle. My goodness, that's insane. Wow, Dangle, thanks for joining us. It's like you're almost on time. I don't know what to make of that. Something must have happened at work and you got sent home. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Valid. Valid. So I have some sneaky peekies. I have some spoilers, if you will, for something that is not coming out now, but it's coming out in a bit. In a bit. We have a project. It is called Katee After Dark. There is a very good reason why it is called Katee After Dark. Is that an Uncanny X-Men toy behind you? It is, and it's remarked with a painting. We can cuss? No, you can't cuss. No, you can't cuss. Never. Never. When my other channel is up and going, you can say whatever you want. You can say whatever you want about anybody you want. I mean, you can say boobies. Boobies is not a swear word. Everybody's got boobies. excuse me. I'm just prepping these real quick. Get them in the order I want to show them. You can say what you want. We can judge you however we want for what you say. It's valid. Freedom of speech does not apply to the average citizen as far as freedom of speech just means the government can't lock you up for what you say, as long as it's not an imminent threat. However, what you say, a company or an individual can hold that against you and bar your entrance and not serve you for whatever you want to do. So people they get freedom of the speech wrong. They really need to understand the liberties that they are trying to exploit before they exploit them. Freedom of speech only affects you versus the government. If Sapporo's tells me I'm a animal food trough wafer, and I could be like, Sapporo's, I'm blocking you. I don't like you. You can't buy my hair growing tonic. And he can't be like, well, freedom of speech doesn't apply here. Dangle says, I don't mind being judged. Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Sapporo says, you really expect people to read the manual? You fool. It's true. Everyone is goo-goo over the capital letters that the title have in them, but they don't read the smaller ones that are below it that explain what it means. And then when they do read the fine print, they argue over what the definition of is. True story. For those who don't know, today is a fabulous mustache day. After my shower today, it just fell right into place. I was like, man, you are a fine looking mustache today. And my mustache said, oh, thank you. And that was it. So I went, because of how fabulous my mustache was, I've been going nonstop since 9:30. I woke up at 7, took a shower, shaved, got Jimmy ready for his big day. So we live in Oxnard. It's not a secret. Thank you. Carlos, like, side note, I do have to say the stash is looking good. I was typing it as you said it. Thank you. Sapporo says, yep, we had people breaking rules in a game arguing the semantics of the rules. Needless to say, they got banned. It's Sapporo's, you may remember this. I don't know how old you are, but I like to believe you're about my age, maybe a little bit younger. You remember when Magic the Gathering first came out? Magic the Gathering, depending on what group of friends you played with, was a much different game than the Wizards of the Coast had intended it to be. Or whoever owned it originally, I don't remember. Everybody, you're not that old? Well, Sapporos, you have an old soul. You come across on the internet as older. And by that, I mean like mid to late 30s. But when it first came out, without the Gestapo smiting me, and vice versa, I get it. When Magic the Gathering first came out, people would debate the meaning of the terms that were on the cards. And Magic the Gathering actually had to clarify a lot of their words and change the wordings on cards. Even between alpha and beta. Or beta and whatever was after beta. I can't remember what was after beta. Master. And the judge you had for your match. Yes. That was a thing for a lot of the regional Magic tournaments. The regional tournaments were governed by basically the LCS. And when they would get to the higher, like, national levels, they were like, oh, wait a minute, that card doesn't do what I think it does? Well, my deck is garbage now. Because you would build your deck around 2 or 3 cards, and you would have a 40 to 60 card deck depending on the format you were playing, which Classic, I believe, was always 40. Don't quote me on that. I'm very old. I don't remember. But I want to say 40 sticks out in my brain as the original deck size. Of which you had about 15 mana, depending on if you're paying monocolor or dual color. I was a black-white player. I still, when I play Magic the Gathering Arena, which is a shell of Magic the Gathering, I have a white-black deck that is just stupid, and people quit usually by round 4. But yes, originally Magic the Gathering had huge discrepancies as to what words meant, and they had to be very specific, and even come out and on the websites, when the websites were very early, say, "Hey, this is what we mean by this. Make sure your deck is accordingly." I am so old. I played Rage as a kid. Came out a bit after Magic. I vaguely remember Rage. I remember. I'm so old, and I was into Magic so early that when you would go to Magic tournaments, you would have to handwrite your entire deck list, plus your sideboard, I think it's called, and you'd have to turn it in handwritten paper form to have your deck certified, and then they would sort through your deck to make sure it matches, and then they would allow you to play. Now, you have a digital copy of it. But I wasn't here to talk about Magic the Gathering. I am here to talk about Katee After Dark. Katee After Dark is a fun project that kind of came up on a whim. Listen, I am going to wholeheartedly admit I came up with the title because you'll see why in a moment. We are going to start with, we're going to view this art twice. We're going to view this art just as you see it, and then I'm going to make a slight change in the environment, and then you're going to look at the art again. Dangle says, honestly, my best friends play a lot of MTG, and I played a couple times, and this was very thing why I was like, nah, I'm out. There's a lot of interpretation, along with the amount of information to not only know, but to interpret correctly was just too much. I'm going to guess no, Dangle. Not a single one. Maybe an alien one, but definitely not that. Yep, I had friends in high school try to get me into Magic, and some trying to get me to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Was very interpretive as well. The problem with Yu-Gi-Oh! Is when it first came over, it was terribly translated from its original Japanese translation. The problem with Yu-Gi-Oh! Was English was the second language of the card, and there was a lot of ambiguation because some of the words and maneuvers really didn't exist in the English language, and English language having multiple uses for one word, which is fairly unique in the world linguistically, makes it difficult to have an unambiguous word. At that time, I knew about the TCG money treadmill. Yes. Magic has... So Magic is the original jerk that started that treadmill. In recent years, now it's still money grubbing. In recent years, by allowing different types, you have standard, historical, you have commander decks, you have brawl, they have different styles now that make use of a lot of historical cards. They have made being a Magic player a little less taxing because they've extended the period of time that sets are released. They allow more into what the standard was, which I think is the last 3 years. It used to be the last 3 releases. Now it's like the last 3 years, which can encompass 10 releases. So they did, I have to give them credit. They did understand that, okay, listen, this is obviously, we're losing people because people can't afford to stay up on it. They did do a pretty good job of making the historical, standard, limited, and alchemy decks accessible. All right. Boop. All right, so I'm going to burn through these because you'll see in a moment why. Thrawn. The USS Enterprise. Captain James Tiberius Kirk. Marvin the Paranoid Android. Daleks. A TARDIS. Did you see Fanatics is removing some parallels from Top's flagship? I hope whoever is in charge of Fanatics stubs his toe every day when he wakes up. What up, Scuba? That is Slave 1 and a Boba helmet. Some X-Wings and whatever's left of the Death Star with a few TIE fighters. And a Stargate.
It's a trap.
It is a trap. What's up, Don? There's also a toaster. Those who know, know. And yes, that is an actual stretched canvas. But wait, there's more. One of the most recycled robots in history. And that is also a stretched canvas. So that was a very fast cursory look. And there's a reason that that was a very fast cursory look. Now, I said this was Katee After Dark, right? So, gonna need it to be dark, right? You're right, Kate. Nobody told you because it's not happening today. This is just the preview. Ooh. Yes. Blacklight reactive. Check out the glow. Look at the glow on that man. This one, listen, low-key, love it. Oh no, it glows wicked in person. Carlos like, mine? Look at that. Just the right amount of awesome. Now, I assure you there is a ton of glow, but cameras do not pick up blacklight reactive very well. Photos do. Live TV, for some reason, doesn't. And I think it's the filters on the webcams that do it. But trust me, those jet blasts are a-glowing. This one's also great. And I don't even know. I'll have to turn this around. I'll have to turn this off. Oh. Beep boop, boop 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 boop. Ow. So, the big one actually does glow. The big one you're talking about, yes, his buttons glow. So whatever paint you used on that actually is reactive. It does. Yeah, the green you used was reactive. You can kind of see it even in regular light, see? And of course, white itself is blacklight reactive, so his halo, his head, has a halo glow to it under blacklight. Also, everybody will be getting their own blacklight flashlight too, so that you too can see it glow. So yeah, that's going to be out at a later date. Next week, maybe, maybe not, because there's another project that's also finished right behind me that's coming out. What's up, Blind Cat? How you doing, homie? Man, I keep forgetting. I gotta, wait, where is... I gotta keep... Hold on. Hold on. I'm going to do it now while I remember. I got to subscribe to your channel. Where's Blind Cat?
What does a university designed for...
There you go, Blind Cat. I have just subscribed to you. He's blind. He doesn't even know what's going on. I read chat by Braille. He has text to speech. Oh, it's no problem. I will have you know, I'm not even subscribed to my own channel, but I am subscribed to yours. Definitely not subscribe to Kate's. Only you, Blind Cat. Only you. Scuba, that's a dog. Look at that dog. She's such a pretty dog. Look at that face. Look at that face. I want to nibble on her ear. Arr, arr. Yeah, I do. I want to nibble on your dog's ear. You tried the vest on? That's true. All right, so we have that. That is going to be a very near future project. The numbering of that is going to be a little bit different. We are not traditionally numbering those boxes. Those boxes will each have names. One of them will be Diamond, the other one Cinnamon with an S. Crystal will be one. No offense, Crystal and Juan. And there will be a Skylar. I mean, honestly, I can just go through the roster of dancers that were at the club that I was the bouncer of. Candy? Oh, absolutely, there will be a Candy. Hershey? Sure. Lexi, all right. We'll get. Trust me, I worked. I worked at a club that was pretty low on the totem pole, and there was a pretty steady revolving door of girls that worked there, and none of them were putting themselves through college. Not one. But yeah, I got some names to lean on. I blankets like I put a lot of those girls through college. Spoilers, Blind Cat. I hate to ruin the facade, but they weren't going to college. They were buying drugs. I have student loans to prove it. Candy sweet. Tell me your parents don't have a sense of you. I met a girl, and I'm going to say her name, and she's a wonderful woman. She's married now, so her name is, I believe, different. Her first name was Charity. Her maiden name was Skipper. So her name was literally Charity Skipper. And I was like, oh, that makes you sound like a bad person. Like, yeah, that's Charity Skipper. Oh, I'll donate twice then. Scuba, you'd be surprised how many of them are. It is, especially where I was, in the greater Jacksonville, Florida area in the late 90s, early 2000s. Some of them you would never even know. Facts of life. Dated a girl that her first name was Taryn, and her last name was Golightly. I asked her if her parents were confused. Taryn Golightly. Oh, I have another one. She was a Southern debutante in the Florida, the country of Florida. Her first name was Fallon. Fallon. Her middle name was Ashley. And her last name was Burner. Fallon Ashley Burner. Shout out to Fallon. She's a very talented actress, singer, and dancer. I wouldn't be surprised if she was still singing, acting, and dancing. But Fallon was a really nice girl. Her boyfriend at the time was a jerk. He's kind of an actor now. He does a lot of like short films, nothing good. He's a jerk. Um, Her full name, phonetically spelled out, was Fall on a Burner. Fallon A. Burner. FallonABurner. I swear to you, this is not made up. I couldn't make up something like that. It's too good. I'm good, but I'm not that good. Fallon. So yeah, people are pretty creative with kid names nowadays. Memories. So what are you all up to? Big weekend. Big weekend if you're into combat sports. Big weekend if you're into football. Big weekend if you're into politics. Big weekend if you are alive, really. It's just a huge weekend. The weekend is huge. Did Cozy ever say what he was gonna do for my first sketch card? I know the second I chose the armorer. Yeah, man, hold on. Hold on, let me see. I got the list here. Dangle-lang, dangle-lang. Dangle, you got Slave 1 and the Armorer. Huge UFC. Are you watching Karate Combat? Have you gotten into Karate Combat yet? The rules are a lot different than UFC. It's a little more savage. Karate Combat, I don't like the gambling side of it. Basically, in order to follow it, you kind of have to gamble. I'm not a fan of that aspect, but it is a very interesting variation. Look it up. It is interesting. A lot of mid-range fighters from other promotions have gone to it, and it's different. I'm not saying it's good. I'm not saying it's bad. It's a different form of combat sports. It's not done in an octagon. It is actually done in a recessed square, which has like a very steep bumper around it. So it's very. You don't get the leverage of the cage. You really can't push somebody up against the cage because it's an incline. So you really have to work through all of the moves. So Dangle, it adds a different element to combat sports. And I like it because it forces engagement. It is a smaller area. And it opens up a lot more action. You're not just getting rammed up against the cage and then fighting against the cage and the ref is stopping you. It forces you to continue working through your moves. You wouldn't want to go to Karate Combat. It looks like it's being done in the back alley of some small. It's very low production, but the fighting is good, and I watch it for the fighting. I don't watch it for the ambiance. I don't care who's in attendance. I'm not going to one. I used to go to UFC fights, and I used to go to the other one that I don't remember the name of the crappy company. I've been to multiple fights. I actually don't enjoy going to them anymore. I've been to a few UFC cards, as a matter of fact. Carlos Condit. Who was it? It was... I've seen Cowboy fight live, Condit fight live. I've seen, it was Condit Campman 3. I was at that one. Cowboy was on the undercard. Do you watch Car Jiu-Jitsu? No, I'm afraid to click that link. Is it the one where they fight in something that kind of looks like a half pipe? Kind of, yeah. I don't mind grappling just as long as I actually grapple. Yeah, this you'll like this then. Let me, Dangle, on Discord, send me your phone number. I don't have your phone number. I will text you the little link. Beam 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 beam. Send me the link as well. I will. But it's good stuff. Had tickets to a fight in Portland a couple years ago when COVID happened. Finally coming back. Just DM'd you 2 good ones on Discord, DC. All right, thank you. Excuse me, I drink carbonated water. Burps are gonna happen, folks. Plank fighting. Fame. Sapporo's. You saw Kung Lee win twice in his prime. I didn't see Kung Lee. I did see Ken Shamrock versus Hoist Gracie. I did see that. I think it was the 4th time they fought. I saw Kimbo Slice fight the last fight before he died against Dada 5000, who almost died in the ring, actually had kidney failure in the ring. Kung Lee was good. Did some drugs, though. So I have to give you dead air for a second. I apologize. All right. Same with football. I don't mind a defensive battle. I appreciate the non-action. Yeah. I tell you this: the Bills, the Bills Ravens game will be right up your alley. Then I don't know how that's going to work, but it's going to happen. There we go. All right. All right, Zaboros. Good old Slice versus 5000. I watched that live, and I'm not going to lie. It was so bad I was glued. It was awful. It was awful. Here's the thing. If you watch the whole fight, you will see, I think it was like 2 fights before that fight. It was 3 illegal hits to the groin. To the point where they disqualified the guy after the 3rd one. So the entire highlight reel of the fight was 3 blows to the groin. It was the worst fight I've ever attended, and I never went back to that organization again after that. The Ken Shamrock Hoist Gracie fight was literally Hoist kicked him in the balls, and the referee didn't see it, and then he tapped out Shamrock. It was the worst thing. I asked for a refund and they laughed at me. They're like, "No, you sat through the whole thing. It was awful." I'm like, "The last 3 fights were why it was awful." And they're like, "No, you were there too long." And I was like, "Oh, that is the stupidest answer I've ever heard for me telling you that you're swindling." They were both gassed after a minute. Yeah. Yep. They took him off on a stretcher. I don't know if they showed that on TV. They took him off on a stretcher and were doing compressions on him on the stretcher. Mrs. The Breaker went to the fight with me. She'll tell you. Mike Tyson was there too, by the way. It was awful. And I was so excited. So excited. Well, that's not good. That pen leaks. I don't want to touch anything or any art right now, so give me a moment to get this taken care of. That is pure green ink. And I will ruin everything I touch. Most common pen ink has an alcohol solvency, so standard hand sanitizer gets most of it off. Just an FYI, if you ever have a Bic pen leak or anything like that, and you don't have a sink handy like me just now, most of it is alcohol solvent. So hand sanitizer, good hand sanitizer, the high concentration hand sanitizer will get a vast majority of pen ink off. It's a little free life tip. So Dangle's phone number is 716 555 1212. All right, everybody, give him a call. 716 555 1212. That's Dangle's phone number. What up, chef? Skip's like, I'm gassed after a minute. Love that the DCD collects shot glasses are in the collection. That is great. Do it, I dare you. Better yet, FaceTime. I feel you, Chef. I'm very excited for this weekend. Saturday, I have a D&D game that we haven't played in almost a year, it feels like. And then obviously football and the fight. And then Sunday, I will be out and about going to the fight. Or I'm sorry, the watching the game. I think I'm gonna go to Steve and Maddie's house for the game. And he's having some friends over, so it's gonna be some dudes watching some football, which is always great. But yeah, it's gonna be a great weekend. I can't wait for tomorrow to be over so that I can get the weekend started. So as I was saying earlier I started telling this story 42 minutes ago. So I've been up since 7:30. I took a shower, sculpted this fabulous mustache, took James to speech therapy, and had to drop off some stuff to Doug at his house. Then immediately go to James's speech therapy and occupational therapy. From there, had to visit Steve and Maddie for an hour and a half to see how Maddie's doing and Steve is doing. To drive all the way back to my house to drop off Jimmy to get to here, which I arrived here at 5:40 p.m. Pacific, 20 minutes before having to go live. So when I say that I have not been home all day, I have set foot in my house for a grand total of 10 minutes since I left it. Yeah, that's right. Last year was only a couple weeks ago, so this is a very valid point. Hey, look, everybody, Kate's back. I should probably make sure I didn't get ink anywhere else now that I'm thinking about it. No, I didn't. I'm good. Okay. Trade years? No, I don't want your year. I don't have the ability to have the same year as you had. I mean, I'm not getting into details, but it's not physically possible for me to have the same year as you. we both have an expiration date. We're on fairly even keel. It may tip slightly in one side to the other. Craig says his phone number went to a call girl business. Ha ha ha. So I should definitely call that now. Like, excuse me, let me call it on air. Dangle, tomorrow is Mrs. Dangle's birthday, am I right? Or is it Saturday? For some reason I had tomorrow on my brain. Feels like I've been stabbed in my abdomen a bunch of times. Technically, you were. Technically. It is correct. Okay. Maybe I'll give you a call tomorrow and wish her a happy birthday through your phone. I'm sure there's nothing she wants more for her birthday than to hear my voice wishing her a happy birthday. I'm sure that is way on her list of things she wants for her birthday. She's like, oh, great, that guy. Her birthday wish is, Derek, don't watch him for one day. Just one day, don't watch him. That is my birthday gift. A DC B-Day call. A DC B-Day. A DC B-Day call. Jelly. Kate, when's your birthday? He's like, yeah, pretty much. I want that guy not to be in around. February 9th, that's around the corner. You may get, I have your phone number. In case you didn't know, I'm the one that does the shipping, so anybody that is put their phone number in the shipping log, it goes into our company computer. and I can call you if something happens to your order. So technically I have your phone number. Now, I have this crazy thing called integrity. I know, it's a bonkers idea this day and age. But I wouldn't, just now. Dangle's phone number is in the computer, but I'm not going to illegally take his phone number out of the computer and call him. I'm going to ask him because that's the right thing to do. Kate, I'm not going to just take your phone number out of the computer for the orders that you've made. I would reach out to you in social media. Well, actually, I wouldn't reach out to you. I'd reach out to Blind Cat first and say, hey, man, is it cool if I have the artist that works with me's phone number? To which he would go, duh, your coworkers. And then I would be like, hey, I am allowed to have your phone number for work purposes. And then I'd call you on your birthday and be like, happy birthday. And then hang up, and you would have no idea who it is because you don't know my number. She's literally looking up and praying, just one day without DC. Yeah, when you refuse the meds, that is correct. Me, listen, I have a history with painkillers, and I know how bad they are for you. But when it comes to surgery, I am like, listen, this is the time to have them. I know they don't make me feel very good, and they make me very loopy and make me almost uncontrolled my body. Like, don't know what to do with my hands. But when surgery is involved, yeah, I take my pills. I take my pills when it comes to surgery. Otherwise, no, I don't take them recreationally. I live in California recreationally if I wanted to. So much is legal. But no, I don't. I'm not a recreational pill taker. Honestly, I'm not. Never appealed to me. I've seen so many. It's not that great of a feeling to die over. Like, listen, I'm gonna talk the straight dope with you. Drugs are not cool. They're not. They make you feel great. They take your mind off of terribleness. They're just not great. They're not cool. And I understand the allure of them. Certain ones do make you feel euphoric. But I never understood the opiate addiction. Now, granted, the chronic pain I am in, I am just used to pain. Pain is life. So taking those pills doesn't cure the malady. I don't understand the recreational side of opiates. Like heroin, yeah, I get it. I understand why heroin is popular because it's heroin. But like the lower end opioids and those pills, I never understood the allure of taking those because it's, to me, not a great feeling. I understand different people react to drugs differently, but that was one where prescribed, I was like, this isn't great. I'm taking this because, yeah, it's taking my mind off the fact that I have 4 stitched wounds in my stomach. But it's not like I'm doing this because this is wonderful. It's like, all right, do I need to take this today? Yeah, I feel okay. I'm not taking this today. Yeah, throwing up on abdominal surgery, yeah. My only surgery was abdominal. I had an inguinal hernia, double inguinal hernia on both sides, repaired with the mesh, which, spoilers, didn't work. And yeah, it's, I again, I don't want to do it. She got the new Donkey Kong Returns HD that released today a few minutes ago, so she's in a good mood. Deal with our poop. I get, looks like sycamore leaves for my pain, and I hardly do that because I don't like the feeling of being out of control. So I'm definitely not taking Oxy. No, Oxy is bad. The reason Oxy's bad is it is, most narcotics, painkillers, you can build a tolerance to. Oxy, okay, there's 2 different Oxys. There's OxyContin and oxycodone. Contin and codone. Oxycodone is not as bad as OxyContin. OxyContin, it is designed for you not to build a resistance to as quickly. That's why that one's dangerous, is you don't have to take more and more. It takes a long time for you to have to get to that point. It's also why it's very expensive on the street. Oxycodone is generic codeine, if I'm not mistaken. That's the stuff that you get from the doctor's office. The Vicodin, I believe, is a oxycodone. So there's two oxys. I was pre-med, and now technically everybody in the world is pre-med until they become a doctor, then they're just med. But I was going for sports medicine. My dream was to go to, a very small dream now that I think about it, was SUNY Brockport, who has a great sports medicine program. And then I realized basically I was going to have to go through all of medical school just to do sports medicine. And I was like, no, I'll just be an agent instead. So then I started doing the courses for sports agency. And then I was like, yeah, I don't want to pass the bar, so I'm probably not going to do sports agency either. So then I was like, I am going to be a laborer and work in a steel mill. So I did that. And now I'm a Twitch streamer. I think I got the codone. Yeah. Yeah, codone is basically, I believe, generic codeine. It's not much stronger than like a Tylenol 4 you would get from Canada back in the day. I have lived 1,000 lives. Kate, listen. I have a restless soul. I still have my soul is less restless. I'm winding down on my life, and my need for exploration is wound down too. You're a cam guy. That's right, I'm a cam guy. The owner said she's going to take Carly back to the vet to get the x-rays done to see if there's any heart damage to the worm. So everyone please cross your fingers that there is none. Scuba, I am supremely confident everything is going to go well. Heartworms are far more common than you believe. And judging by her age and the fact that she's in training for service dog means it was caught early. Homie, listen, I'm a pessimist and a realist. And even as a pessimist and a realist, I'm going to tell you, this dog is going to be fine because of the care this dog is already getting. If this was a stray, if this was a shelter dog, that's different. But this is a highly trained, bred animal that is being monitored every step of the way. Homie, don't even fret. Don't even fret. Yeah, everything else is very healthy, of course. Those are very well-bred dogs. But yeah, I very restless soul. When I was 15 years old, I was like, I'm going to try everything in the world once so that nobody can ever tell me that I didn't do it. So I did. I was like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to go sledding down the hill on an inner tube. I'm going to go sledding down the hill on a toboggan. I'm going to go sliding down the thing head first, just in a jacket. I'm going to climb the roof of this Chili's and ride the giant chili so that everyone can take photos of it. I'm going to join the Navy because it's better than Buffalo. I'm going to climb the statue of Nikola Tesla in Niagara Falls and lay in his arms and take a nap, and people took photos of that. I was an adventurer on a limited budget, so I had to kind of make up my own adventures. I every 6 months would get bored of a job and just quit and do a different job because it was boring and I didn't like it. I was like the Yes Men before Yes Men was a movie. I was like, you want to do this? Yeah, sure. What is it? It's this. Oh, that sucks, but I already said yes. Let's do it. Nope. Go. Oh, well, wait. We'll talk about that at WonderCon, Kate. Oh, he's a doggy. He's a doggy. Can I show the picture of your dog? Ooh, look at that. Let me show the picture. Can I pet that dog? Can I pet that dog? Oh, good, that Doggy! See, don't you just want to nibble on her ear? Like, come here, you just want to bite that ear. Look at that face. Pizza collar for pizza dog. Look at that face. Oh, goodness gracious. Look at the dog. He's right. It's a great dog. It's a great dog. There we go. So here's the thing. Like, just like Kate, this was mentioned, I think yesterday or the day before. People are like, oh, you should write a book about your life. First of all, nobody would read it because in order for a book to be engaging, it has to have a point. There has to be a lesson learned. I haven't learned any lessons. I just have been imparted with wisdom. Nobody would believe 80. No, that would be a lie. Let me rephrase that. Nobody would believe probably 30% of it. And I'm being honest, like a non-hyperbole number. About 30% of my life, you'd be like, no, dude, you're just trying to sound cool. No, because there's like an additional 10% that you're like, that's disgusting. And I'd be like, yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Not proud of those moments, but they existed. Yeah. I just had a restless soul. ADHD that was undiagnosed. Come to find out after going through it with my son. Here was my problem. I was found at a very young age to have a very high IQ. My tested IQ was 132. They tested that in 1987, second grade, when you were taking our CAT tests. That put me into academically talented programs, which I hated because I had to do more homework than everyone else. And I was like, this is awful. I'm not going to do this because why should I do more work because they think I'm smart? No, I rebelled. I raged against the machine, if you will. Then I realized when all of my other friends would talk about stuff, and I'm like, this is stupid. I already know what they're going to say. I can finish their sentences before they begin them. Life is really boring where I live. That is where impaired judgment came into my life, where I was like, hey, wow, I'm bored sitting amongst all of these people. Then somebody's like, hey, man, do you like pot? And I was like, I'm 15. I don't know what that is. And they're like, here. Then I was like, oh, my brain is now being stimulated. I now am lost in this giant cavern of a skull. And it was downhill from there. So my IQ is definitely not 132 anymore. I have probably a chemically castrated brain to where my IQ is maybe about 105 if I'm having a good day. But yeah, that was my issue with life. So I was always like, I need to do the next thing. No, I need to do the next thing. Like, this is boring. Okay, I need to do the next thing. Like, the longest job I ever had was working in human resources at Geico. Human resources and sales and underwriting. I actually had 4 jobs at Geico. Again, restless. But the great thing about that company, there's not a lot of great things about that company. One of the good things about that company is there was many, many jobs you could do, and as long as you were qualified for them, you had a pretty good chance of getting them. So I actually worked like 4 jobs while working one, and it happened to be a span of about 8 years. So, yes, very restless. And yes, you can see the ADHD coming out. Speaking of ADHD, Be It Easel is live, and she is also a prime example of ADHD, and I love her for it. I really do. She's great and entertaining, but what she says out loud and how she acts and the singing and the dancing and the puppets, that goes on inside my brain. She's very good at getting it out. Mine sort of, there's a filter right here that goes, no puppets today, DC. As much as you want puppets, no puppets today. That's why I appreciate her. There's multiple I like. Multi-Sport, Pieces of the Past Premium, 8-year. Kind of want chat to vote to see what they want to see opened. WonderCon is going to be a blast. I concur. I'm excited. I believe I just saw the first guest list of WonderCon. Just want to make sure I can show these people. Make sure there's no. Okay, I can. Doo 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 boop beep. So, Jessica Fong, lot of work. Matt Forbeck, X-Men. He's a gaming guy. He is one of the top guys for writing most modern RPGs. Yaya, I'm not into cosplay, so I don't know her. Todd McFarlane, I've heard that name. I've also met him a few times. Murph! That is Adam Nimoy. Yes, that's Leonard Nimoy's son. Brian Posehn. If you love metal, you love Brian Posehn. Very funny comedian. Voice acting everywhere. He's a funny character. Wiesenmeyer. Well, listen. X-Men 97, animated series, that's the guy. He did the character design. So that is the first round of announcements. I don't think they have us listed yet. I think they just have Lee listed. I love looking at the photos. Not this year, last year. I actually found myself in the background of a couple of photos. It was a photo like well, you can't see it on this screen because I have the screen shrunk. It was just a group photo and I was wandering aimlessly in the background. You see my ugly bald head from the back. And I was like, "Oh my god, that's my head." I know that fat head. Posehn, the start of Nickelback sucks. Your goal in life is to be on a special guest list. I mean, you just have to ask. Dangle says only 70 days to opening day. Opening what? Opening day of what? Opening day? Every day is opening day for me. Well, 3 out of the 7 days is opening day for me. Once he gets a con started, he would love to have a DCD artist section. That would be awesome. DCD Collects sponsors an entire section of just our artists. That would be great. I would MC the section. We would have a live MC. I would Flava Flav up that area. And it would be great. I'm down. I would MC Artists Alley for the cost of a hotel room and food. I would do it for hotel and food. That's it. You wouldn't have to pay me money. Just get me in a hotel and feed me. I'll even take it just one meal a day. I'm not even greedy. There's only one day a year that is called opening day. You literally had a box run for the occasion. Tuesday or Thursday? Wednesday tends to be our real opening day. Wednesdays and Fridays tend to alternate. That would be awesome. I actually partnered artists in the Amazing Vegas Comic Con, so that kind of counts. They give me a table every year. Yeah, there you go. You can get 3 things on the $1 menu from McDonald's. That's it. That's all I want, man. Give me 3 spicy chicken sandwiches. That's it. I'm good. That's my day. No mayo. Add buffalo sauce. That's it. I'll take it. $3. I'm fine. I'm fine. Listen, hey, I'm easy. I'm easy like a Sunday morning. Call me Lionel. You want a McFlurry? Well, I don't know. Listeria and immunocompromisation don't go together very well. I haven't had soft serve in so long. Ever since I saw the inside of a soft serve machine at a restaurant, I never had soft serve ice cream again. Listen to me, folks. I love you all. Don't eat soft serve ice cream. Don't do it. Don't. Unless you're going to a place that you know cleans their machines to medical standards. Don't ever eat soft serve. I'm not going to tell you why. My stomach's churning. I just don't eat soft serve ice cream, folks. That is my PSA to you. Don't eat soft serve. The more you know. Also annoyed they don't sell holiday pies. I eat my feelings. The 21st starts a new Pokemon Happy Meals. Jimmy will love that. The soft serve unicorn. That's from Squatty Potty. Yeah, by the way, Squatty Potties are awesome. I had one. I don't have one anymore, but I had one. It was awesome. Yep. They're great. They're great. I loved them. I had to give mine up. I was told I couldn't have it anymore because it was tacky. Never mind my health. It was too tacky to have in a bathroom. It was awesome. I loved it. They work, by the way. If you're wondering, they work. I'm not going to throw Mel under the bus, Scuba. What up, Prue? Uh, you know, if you're going to pick one, historical is more consistent. Historical is very consistent, but 8-year has a chance at a big hit. It seems like more frequently. That is awesome, Dangle. Oh, you want me to read that out loud? Okay. Dangle says, I watched a video of some visitors to the USA watching their first live baseball game. They happened to watch it in Seattle, and at the beginning of the video, they were filming the outside of the stadium, and they happened to cross the street at the same time of a couple of my friends and got them in the shot. Keep in mind, me and my friends live about 4.5 hours away and only make it to 1 to 2 games a year. Now, I want you to know, I read it, but I'm happy to read it out loud. It took me like 30 minutes to write that. All right, things are happening on Discord, I have a feeling. Boop. All right. Oh, Dangle. Super Break sent out the boxes today, which means I'm not going to get them tomorrow. So next week, I will definitely have Supercharged and 1800 Kaleidoscope. Yeah, you heard me. 1800 Kaleidoscope Edition. So, get ready for that. Oh, well, hey, listen, now the chat doesn't have to read it. Now I read it for all of them, and we're all better for it. He's like, I'll take all, we're getting 2 cases, that's it. I'll give you a heads up right now. We only were able to snag 2 cases initially. I think it's gonna be, I think the 1800 is like $94.99 a box. You're welcome, Saporos. Blind cat can't either. He has to use Braille. I have to. So I think it's $94.99 a box. I can't remember specifically, but it's under 100. It's under 100 a box. For 1800. And I got 2 cases of that. I believe it's 20 boxes total. That's it. And then Supercharged is only 3 boxes, so I'll have 6 total. And then I'm probably going to do those in There Will Be Bloods. The Supercharged is 3 per case. The 1800, I think, is 10 per case. I will know more once I have them in hand. I'm hoping... Yeah, Craig's like, hey, I'm working. I can't read, so I need DC to read these. So, yeah. Thank you, Craig. I appreciate you, brother. I hope you're having a great day at work. I'm hoping they are able to... We requested some more of those hot boxes. Those are subject to availability. So we have an open order for them. Hopefully we get 1 or 2 of those, because at $100, those are just stupid good. I can't guarantee it. I can't tell you for sure that we will get them. But I did ask if it was possible to acquire a couple more. I will probably not make those available and put them into There Will Be Blood. Excuse me. Dangle, ye of little faith. What else is there, man? There's something else. So if you're going to make a trade, I would suggest making your trade sooner than later. I'm probably going to end this one closer to 11 p.m. Eastern, 8 Pacific, so about another half hour or so. The X-Men on the shelf is for Remarkable. We have a Remarkable product that is 2 pops, 2 figures, and 5 comic books. That one may or may not be available tomorrow. It may not be, but maybe. Excuse me. Oh, Sumo. It is day 6 of the first Basho of 2025. My guy Koto Zakura not having a good Basho. He hasn't fared well this run. It seems like the Ozeki have figured him out a bit. What? Oh my goodness, I'm on the front page of Twitch? No. No way. No way. Look at that's me just chatting IRL. Hey. That's awesome. I want to point out
Hello there.
hello there. What is the weather for the Detroit hosting Commanders? It should be snowy. Let's take a look. What is the weather going to be like in Detroit on Sunday? 19 degrees and snowy. That's Detroit weather. It's going to be a good game. Saturday is a little warmer.